Yo guys, what's good? As here once again with another video, and today we're talking about Illusion Connect. The game is just a couple hours away, so I wanted to give you some of the tips and tricks that I've learned over the past while I've been playing on the beta server. Let's get right into it. Alright, so please excuse the lag that is occurring in the background. I'm streaming this from my phone and it's not really the best quality. Once the final release comes out, then I play it on the emulator and the quality will be way better. So don't be somehow surprised that this looks bad. It's just the streaming to my PC that is a little bit bad. Anyway, so very early in the game, after 8 days, you will have access to one of the strongest characters in the game. And you can see her here on the screen, it's Miyuki. She is amazing as an AoE damage dealer, and overall she is just great. And I mean, if you're into cat ladies, she is definitely the waifu to go for. So when you go into your perks and then destined encounter, you can see login for 8 days in total for Miyuki to get her. So you get a bunch of cool goodies to just log in for 8 days. You see you also get an SSR weapon, which is pretty good, but she is basically guaranteed for free, and as I mentioned before, she is one of the, if not the best character in the game. It is kind of hard to say who is the best character, who is like the worst character, because this game is mostly about team compositions. However, as in most other games, there is some very strong characters and some characters that just stand out. So in that case, I would say Miyuki is definitely on the top. Next up, we're coming to the summons. So unlike other games where the banners appear on the game's timeline, so whenever they do the server start and blah blah blah, this game will put the banners out from when you first logged in. So to try to explain this, let's say I play and start tomorrow on launch. I log in and this is when the timer begins. All the following banners will be on my timeline. So a week later the banners will switch, a week later. So let's pretend you start in a month, you log in, and then the first banner you will see is the same as the first banner I saw. So you will not miss out on any of the banners just because you started later, which is pretty awesome because some of these banners are pretty cool and you need to be able to prepare to save for them. So these select tickets here, they're pretty rare, and you can get a couple from the shop, you can get a couple from doing various things in the game, and you most likely will not get a 10 pull after a week. So you definitely want to save up for them. And the reason for that is that some of the really strong characters will be able to drop in these select summon banners. And if you use a 10 pull, you have a guaranteed SSR character. Not 100% the banner character, because it's just a 3%, but the chances are pretty good that you get them. And one of the strong characters that you will be able to get in, I believe, 3 weeks. So 1 week, yeah. And the third week, that is when the banner starts, will be Kasumi. I don't have her. I played with her a little bit in the arcade mode. There she is. And I got some tokens for her. She is incredibly strong, super high attack, and yeah, this character, one of the best ones. She can steal enemy invincibility and shield effects. Incredible. Definitely one character to look out for. And don't worry too much about the other summons that you get. So the regular summons, these ones are the ones you can buy with either crystals or get them also free to play from a lot of different areas here in the shop for like these token amounts, and yeah, you can also get them from here, some summon tickets and from some other packs that are out there. All right, then next up, one of the best characters, again a unit that is free to play available for you. So it will be Saya. Saya will be one of your partners. Let me get her out for her. She is one, as you can see, I already upgraded her to SSR. She is one character that grows stronger the more power you put into her. She's one of the characters that can be evolved to an SSR character, and she starts just as a rare. She is one of your beginner characters, and as you could have seen here with the Wings of Growth, you get enough of the tokens to actually evolve her, and you will get a cool skill skin once you collect these 40 points. Also pretty cool. So definitely don't forget about her. She is insanely strong. She has super low cost to get on the board, and she has one of the really cool abilities. Saya's unique skill has a 25% chance of instantly killing an enemy partner. She has a 25% chance to just tap an enemy, and if the 25 chance procs, she kills them regardless of how many HP they have. This doesn't work on bosses, but on anything else, so this is pretty cool, and she gets that pretty often. So every fourth time she uses it, you can guarantee a full kill. Pretty cool. So definitely don't sleep on her. Then another thing, if you are a spender, another pretty cool character, at least for early game, and probably also mid game, is Phoebe. There she is. If you're planning to spend anyway, buy the 99 cent package. So it's a $1 package in the shop here. This one, you will get her guaranteed, and you will still get the gold and the stamina. So that is pretty cool. You get this for free and a weapon, so that is pretty cool. All the other stuff, don't worry too much about it. I believe it's also here in this shop. Yeah, the monthly card. And there is another card that basically never expires. So for $15, super ultra high value, you will get every week 5 summon tickets. You get the redundant stamina can be stored, so this one will not just stop recharging, right? And then you can claim 6,600 in on as event gift. This is pretty cool. So if you plan on summoning both of those, pretty awesome. And again, this is just one-time permanent purchase. I haven't seen that in any games so far. So as a, yeah, I would still count that as a tip to purchase them if you want to purchase something overall. Next up, so while there is a bunch of tier lists out there that say like, oh, this character is the best character, this character is second best, and so on, in the end, unless you are a whale or do like tons of rerolling in the beginning and get extremely lucky, you won't be able to start with the perfect roster. Most of the time you will get a healthy mix out of various different characters, and some of the strongest early on are the summoners. So Gagaku, she's one of my favorite characters at all. Super cool design, and she summons these little foxes, and when they get killed on the battlefield, they have 1 HP. They deal damage to the lowest HP target. This can also include bosses. Sometimes when she's the first one on the field, she summons 3 of the foxes, enemy does an AoE, stage is done. stage is finished super quick. So she's one of the best characters early on. They drop off later in the game significantly, either because you need to have the space for your other characters, because how this game differentiates from, for example, Arknights, is that the characters have passive effects. Let me quickly pull this out. Oh, she doesn't have one that is applied when it's on the battlefield. Diana has. So when Diana appears, a leader restores 33% HP. Her own heal rate in battle increases by 15. So if your board is full because your summoners have done certain things, and yeah, the board is full, then you cannot place your characters at the right time when you might need them. So this is the biggest difference from, for example, Arknights, where Arknights, it doesn't matter too much when you place your unit, but where you place your unit. And in this game, it matters a lot when you place your unit, because some units, for example, Amon, she has, when 3 or fewer enemies are present, Amon's attack increases and her death decreases. And then she has a unique, opens the coffin of the Slum Pharaoh, revives a dead ally with 40% HP. So you don't want to bring her as the first character, right? But you also don't want to flood your board with summons to never use this feature. So there becomes a lot of there's a lot of technical gameplay that you have to be aware of when you play with summoners. However, as mentioned, early game they're super strong because you just want to overwhelm the enemy, and later on they fall off. But again, don't let anybody discourage you from using a certain unit just because they are not the highest on the tier list. Sometimes whatever you pull and gets the strongest will be in your team. For example, a lot of the SR characters might find a better place than, for example, a Hershey, where she becomes strong later on in the game when you put a lot of gear on her and stuff and get her to the levels. But before that, a Saya or, for example, Beatrice could replace her pretty easily, just because you have an easier time to get them to a higher level. Alright, let's continue. So you will have this exploration, and you should always do the exploration to 90% to get to the auto AFK stage, and then you basically can auto them however you want. And the level will play out, you will get the resources and get the drops. These drops you should definitely work for, because these can be exchanged for gear and stuff in the store. So you should definitely always do it. So then you have the Arcana, and the Arcana is a place where you can actually farm your 5 stars and like SSR characters over time. So how this works is you choose your leader. I usually choose either the Nightmare Hunter or the Light Paladin because they are pretty strong. So you select your team, you start your combat, and let's quickly skip this match so I can show you what happens after that. Okay, so then you can select a buff. You should be careful to watch which buff you take. So this sounds pretty good. And then you can start selecting partners. This is, by the way, how I play with different characters. So Kasumi, definitely a character that I want to get. So you get an SSR option. Sometimes you get 2 SSR options. I pick her and whatever. And the next time you start a combat, you can do a fusion. So let's say, so I already have her, right? I can use her up, give Mary to her, and can increase her skill. And at the end, when I put her full, I get the tokens that I spoke about that you can basically get as rewards. So you want to fuse some of the characters up and also play with some of the characters that you don't have. This is the way to farm different characters, so definitely a very welcome mode. I will not run this anyway. So here, this is what happens. You get the progress improvement and then you get shards. Okay, just wanted to show that off. So, all right. So let's talk about rerolls. When you start the game, you will have a banner where you can pull on 3 heroes, which will be Hotaru, Nicola, and Kiraya. Let me find her. She is down here. Kiraya. Here. They all are not bad. Kiraya, I haven't really played with her too much. I got to select her a little bit. She has a really high damage multiplier, single target, and grants a shield to the caster's HP in the same column, so she can help your team survive at the same time. And she grants a 40% shield when she appears, so you basically deploy and then she can get this passive off. So she is pretty good. I would rate her maybe as the second strongest of the banner. Then Hotaru, she definitely is useful early game. However, her damage is a little bit lackluster in my opinion. What I used her for in the beginning was definitely for her stun ability, because you can attack multiple times in a row and stun a single column, which can be very helpful in some stages. However, the strongest character of them all will be Nicola. In the beginning, I would say she is kind of even with Kiraya in terms of usefulness, but she gets stronger the more you get into the game, and it's because of this damage resistance rate. At later stages, the enemies resist more and more of your damage, so having a 33% cut is just amazing. And then she attacks 2 enemies, the highest HP attacks first, with a good damage multiplier. Here as well, a good damage multiplier, and this is kind of fine. So I would reroll for Nicola if I was you. Don't be too sad about Kiraya. If you get Hotaru, unless you really like her, I would reroll if you get her, because she becomes less useful very soon, especially once you summon some of the better SRs or even some of the R-rated. So yeah, that is already it about the rerolls from my side. And then last but not least, we have the Musipala. Okay. So this is your idle area that you know probably from other games, where you need to build this area up and you can get some passive benefits. So you can collect some of the some of the gifts that you can give them. Sometimes they give gifts to you, sometimes you give gifts to them, and you can then date them. Alright, so you can increase their intimacy there, and yeah, collect passively some resources, and sometimes you can pet them, but not there. Do I have nobody that I can pet? They're so cute, my little waifus, and nobody wants to be petted. Oh. Anyway, you definitely want to build out your Tree of Eternity, because this will unlock your last, or not only your last, but this will unlock these pieces here. So now I can have 9, and this will come when the last level is reached, or when I reach level 40. I need to do that quest. Cool. Date. Yeah, so this was all the beginner easy things that I could think of that not everybody else might have covered already. So I really hope you enjoyed this one. I will continue covering this game whenever I see something interesting or have something interesting to share with you. I will make a video about it, and yeah, let you guys know about that. If you like it, consider subscribing, helps the channel out. Leave a comment, leave a like, do all the good stuff. Let me know what you think about the game. Have you maybe even played the soft launch on the Pan server? I would be very interested to know how you felt about the game. Anyway, it was a pleasure to have you here, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, enjoy the grind.